Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian lad, and today I watched Venom at 0.25x speed and found 22 new details that you may or may not have seen before. And a spoiler alert, my favorite detail from this movie is at number 11, so please watch the entire video so you have a better context. But first, please spare me a minute to thank my awesome sponsor, Raycon earbuds. Raycons come in a variety of colors to choose from, such as electric blue, flare red, and frost white. All of the options Captain America would need and more. They offer seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design for a comfortable noise-isolating fit. And with 6 hours of continuous playback, you'll even be able to watch Avengers Endgame twice without needing to recharge. The company was co-founded by Ray J, and even Snoop Dogg can get enough of these earbuds. But best of all, Raycon cost half the price of other premium wireless earbuds, without sacrificing on quality. I've had my Raycons for almost a year, and I couldn't be happier with the quality of the audio. They're the best. Raycon is so confident you'll love their earbuds that they offer a 45-day free return policy, so there's no risk in trying them out yourself. To pick up a pair for yourself, click on my link below or visit buyraycon.com/CanadianLad to buy a pair of Raycon wireless earbuds today. You'll be supporting my channel and getting 15% off, so it's a win-win for everyone. Number 1. In the opening scene, a spaceship containing symbiotes was coming back to Earth. But it crashes and one of the symbiotes, aka Riot, escapes and possesses one of the astronauts. But then the symbiote moves from this astronaut's body into this paramedic. You notice after she gets possessed by the symbiote, her ponytail blocks the M on her jacket, which should have said EMT, but now it only says ET, which could mean extraterrestrial, basically another name for symbiotes. A very clever Easter egg. Number 2. Carlton Drake, who I'll refer only as Drake for the rest of the video, is on a mission to make a new species which is a mixture of a symbiote and a human, so that humanity can exist even outside this planet. So to make sure he gets what he wants, he does life-threatening experiments on vulnerable people, precisely homeless people. Now in one of those experiments, when all the scientists and doctors were looking at the test subject, who literally just got killed because the test went horribly wrong, notice Drake wasn't paying attention to the dead body at all. Instead, his focus was on the symbiote, which he immediately follows by saying this:
"Bring in the next volunteer."
This really shows how inhuman he is. Number 3. When the Venom symbiote doesn't let Eddie go through an MRI test, the doctor, aka Dan Lewis, thought Eddie is claustrophobic. But at the end, the technician actually sees something weird in Eddie's body. Now if we zoom in, we can clearly see the Venom symbiote is coursing through Eddie's body and veins. Number 4. When Eddie gets home after being infected with the Venom symbiote, he immediately eats everything he sees, including several frozen tater tots in his fridge. And that's why at the end of the film, when Eddie asks Venom what should he get from this convenience store, Venom says,
"Tater tots and chocolate."
This is another great continuity detail. And notice Venom also asked for chocolate. According to the 1995 miniseries Venom the Hunger, symbiotes need a chemical called phenethylamine, which is available in brains and chocolate. Number 5. When Eddie's boss asks him about the view from his office, Eddie says,
"Height's not really my thing."
Well, this was actually foreshadowing the climax of the film, which basically takes place on top of a rocket that has already been launched. Eddie also ends up falling from that height at the end of the battle. Number 6. The name of Eddie's apartment building is Schuler, which is a reference to Randy Schuler, a Marvel fan who in 1982 suggested the idea of giving Spider-Man a black costume. The costume would debut in 1984, and would later evolve into the concept of a sentient alien being, and later into a symbiote. And not only that, they even made sure to verbally say his name in the movie when Eddie was being chased by Drake's men.
"I got him. He's in the alley behind the Schuler building."
Which brings us to my next detail, number 7. While Eddie was being chased by the Life Foundation, Venom took over Eddie, but only partially. Eddie had his body intact, except his hands, which were being controlled by Venom, because Venom obviously can ride a bike better than Eddie, who's just a human. Anyway, they send drones after Eddie to stop him. And notice when one of the drones explodes, Venom actually retracts itself and hands over the control back to Eddie. This is because of this explosion. As we know, Venom's weaknesses are high-frequency sounds and fire. So because of the fire caused by this explosion, Venom was going into hiding. And I think this is one of my favorite details from the entire film, because had the VFX team didn't do this, nobody would complain. But still, they made sure to stick to the source material. And this scene only lasted a couple of seconds. So hats off for this level of attention to detail. Number 8. At the beginning of the film, we've seen Riot using this EMT as its host and then making her go to the Malaysian market to get some food. There she ends up killing a lot lot of innocent people. Now notice the Riot symbiote pulls off this move without looking behind. He's able to do it because he can shapeshift his limbs into blunt weapons like hammers and maces. He pulls off a similar move again at the end in the final fight against Venom. It's a move where he shoots some sort of spikes and stabs people behind him. Number 9. When Venom appears in his actual form, the first thing that he says is straight from the Amazing Spider-Man comics number 374.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Number 10. In the chasing scene when Eddie jumps from his apartment building to another, Venom saves him here by creating a shield behind him and blocking all the bullets. But notice when he runs away, the casings of the bullets can be seen falling on the floor. Now obviously this shield is all CGI, which essentially means even these bullets are CGI as well. So this marks another great attention to detail. Number 11. Eddie shouts in horror that he's going to die, but Venom assures him that he won't.
I am going to die!
You're not going to die!
Now the detail I'm about to show you is probably my favorite detail from this film. Notice whenever Venom speaks, Tom Hardy doesn't move his lips, because he doesn't need to. He can already hear Venom from the inside. But through this window, we can see Eddie actually moving his lips ever so slightly even when Venom is speaking. I'm gonna play it for you again so you understand what I'm trying to say.
I am going to die!
You're not going to die! You're not going to die!
You see what I'm talking about here? Venom said you're not going to die, and we see Eddie saying the word die through this window, which means to the normal eyes it looks as if Venom is speaking inside his head. But through some sort of reflection, we can see Eddie is actually talking to himself in Venom's voice. So we can't always see Eddie moving his lips without a specific glass or window, just like we couldn't see Venom without this reflection. So basically he thinks he's hearing it in his head, but if you look at him through something else, you're gonna see him talking on behalf of Venom. Number 12. Most of us know that Tom Hardy played the supervillain Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Now in the comics, Bane ingested a serum named Venom to gain super strength, so Tom was pretty much destined to play the character Venom. Number 13. Eddie's girlfriend Anne Wang reminds him of his firing from the Daily Globe and him being forced to leave New York.
But we don't want a repeat
Repeat.
of the Daily Globe incident.
Ow. Really?
Baby, you were run out of New York. I don't want you run out of San Francisco.
In the Spider-Man comics, Eddie was a reporter for the Daily Globe, a rival newspaper of the Daily Bugle. In the comic, a serial killer known as the Sin Eater was going around and murdering people. Now Eddie interviewed a man who claimed to be the Sin Eater, but eventually Spider-Man caught the real Sin Eater and it was discovered that the man Eddie interviewed was a compulsive confessor. This destroyed Eddie's reputation and he was subsequently fired from his job because of this. So Eddie ends up hating Spider-Man for ruining his career. Number 14. The restaurant scene was shot once with the live lobsters and once with the fake lobsters. And the lobster that Tom Hardy bites into was actually candy-coated marshmallow filling with chocolate syrup. Talk about his acting, eh? He's one hell of an actor. Number 15. Anne Wang works for a law firm called Michelini and McFarlane. These are the names of Venom's creators David Michelini and Todd McFarlane. Number 16. When the credit starts rolling, it has graphics in black and white, the traditional colors of Venom. But notice it also has a few moments of black and red, the colors of Carnage, hence foreshadowing his appearance in the sequel. Number 17. At the end of the last scene before the credits, when Eddie was walking down the street, a sign can be seen for Ron Lim Herbal. Now Ron Lim is an artist who worked on the first Venom solo series, so this could be a reference to him. Number 18. When Cletus Cassidy is introduced, we can see him writing the message welcome Eddie onto the bars of his cell with his own blood while waiting for Eddie to arrive. Now the fun part is, even in his first comics appearance as Carnage, he did the same with his victim's blood, with the words Carnage rules written on the walls of the crime scene. Number 19. When Eddie is going through Anne's emails, there's an email from someone named Bodhi. This could be a reference to Riz Ahmed, who played a character called Bodhi in Rogue One. Number 20. Anne Wang briefly uses the Venom symbiote to rescue Eddie. This is also straight from the comics, when Wang briefly wore the symbiote under the name of She-Venom. Number 21. The Venom symbiote briefly bonds with the dog to escape from the hospital. In the comics, a stray dog named Ivan was bonded with the Venom symbiote as well. Number 22. Now this detail has nothing to do with slow motion, but it's something that I observed. Notice Drake tells a little girl at the field trip that it's not wrong to ask questions, and warns there will be those who will try to silence the questioners.
They try and silence those of us who ask questions, but you know what, in the end, we're the ones who change the world.
Barely a scene later, he gets uncomfortable when Eddie asks questions concerning his dirty laundry and has him kicked out of the premise. So this single scene shows the hypocrisy of Drake, and later he tries to comfort a homeless test subject with the biblical story of Isaac despite his cynicism, talks of sacrifice when he's not the one making the sacrifice. So he's a massive hypocrite who is extremely inhuman as well. And that's it. This would be my breakdown of Venom at 0.25 big speed, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did while making it. I've been watching this film for over 3 days now, and it's perfect timing that Sony decided to release the trailer for Venom Let There Be Carnage. I'll probably do a breakdown of that too, but by the time the other YouTubers will mostly have it uploaded. So if you still want my takeaway from Venom 2's trailer, then let me know in the comments. Now if you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up and grab the subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter to get updates about my videos. Till then, I'll see you lads in the next one.
We are Venom.